One of the tools I like using in task safety analysis, job safety analysis, or even total task analysis is a tool called SIPOC. It's a tool that has its origin in quality control and in quality improvement and process improvement, but it's a great tool to analyze a task so that you know exactly what you require. This tool is called SIPOC. And SIPOC stands for P, stands for process. The process is what we've just listed. It's the step-by-step analysis of whatever you are going to do to change your raw materials, your inputs into the product of this process. The second letter is O. O means outputs. This is what the process is producing. A concrete slab, a house, reinforcement, a tree that's chopped down, some eggs that are mixed, a spare wheel that's been changed. So that's the output. Now the output needs to meet C, which is the customer requirements. The customer is the person that is buying this. The customer is the person that is paying for this. Sometimes when we look inside a job, if I do something for, let's say I dig a hole and somebody else is going to put some reinforcing and concrete in there, then whoever comes after me that has to use what I have just created, they are the customer. So the process lists the step. The output is what I will make, what I will produce, and there will be useful stuff coming out of there, the product, but there will also be waste, discarded material, rubbish, fumes, gas, and stuff. Customer is what we are making in the end. That is the person that wants what I make. Now, in order for the process to step-by-step manufacture the output to satisfy the customer, I need inputs. And those inputs includes raw material, knowledge, a plan, a procedure, people, chemicals, tools, equipment. And as you will remember from the baseline and the initial risk assessment, every one of these inputs represent a hazard because it's a physical something, it's a physical object. Also, my outputs, the product is a hazard, depending on the context. If I am making marbles or small things, it's a hazard for children. If I make toys that breaks down into small pieces, it's a hazard, or those things are hazardous for small children. If I make knives or if I make food that is hot or coffee that's hot, that output is a hazard because it can cause harm if it's used incorrectly. And then lastly, the S stands for suppliers. Where do I get my inputs? This is important. If I want to tell somebody completely how to do a job, I need to tell him step by step what he should do with the inputs to produce outputs for the customer that meets the customer requirements, and I must tell him where to find the inputs. If he needs hammers, nails, tools, chemicals, food, people, advice, he needs to know where to go to find it. Some you get in the store, some you get in the stockyard, some you get from the client, some you need to go and buy at a hardware store. So let's review that again. Customer specifications. The customer wants something from you. So he told you what he wants, and he has got certain requirements. The price, the quality, the finish, delivery time, quantity, and of course he would like you to do it safely. Outputs is the product that the customer wanted, but you may also produce waste like building rubble and material, old brick, cement, paper bags, plastic bags, material that you didn't use, and there may even be chemicals that you didn't use, maybe chemicals that were produced in the manufacturing of this product. These are the process steps, step-by-step description of making the final product, and these are all the inputs that we are using. So all the main material, machinery, equipment, chemicals that we analyzed in our initial and our baseline risk assessment, they are now being used, or some of them are being used in a task. And suppliers, self-explanatory, is where do my inputs come from? Sometimes they come from a subcontractor, from the client. I may supply them myself out of the stock that I have, whatever the source might